So, do I have permission to record you?
Yes.
And may I upload this video to YouTube for my class? You, of course, have the right to ask me to take it down at a future time.
Sure.
Okay. So, I wanted to talk about our current social structure, and I wanted to ask you specifically, what kind of world do you think that we should live in?
What kind of world I think that we should live in? It's kind of a hard question.
You can start by asking, what world do you think we live in now?
I mean, it depends what country you go to, I guess. Like, everybody lives in a different world depending on their respective culture and economic system and everything else. But, I think the world we live in now is, I mean, if you compare it to, like, the worlds of the past, it's pretty good. We got, like, indoor plumbing and stuff. It's good. And, iPods and, so yeah. So, like, how would I change the world?
Sure. How would you change? Let's focus on more political structures.
Oh, like political things. So, like, I could make it a dictatorship with me as
Sure.
the queen. Let me think. Political structures. I think that democracy works, but it doesn't, in a sense, it doesn't work because, like, most of the people aren't informed. And so I would change it so that there were more, like, civics classes and more, like, information given about the different politics, and so there were more incentives to vote, probably. And I feel like campaigns shouldn't be taking money from companies or unions even, but then how would they, like, get money for their campaign is kind of the question. So, I don't know. Maybe that should be changed.
Okay. So you think that overall we should educate people more about the political structure?
Yeah, we should.
Right. How would you, or how do you think we should go about that realistically? Because classes would obviously work, but how do you, like, force people into those classes?
Well, I mean, when you think about it, like, we teach so many things in school that, I mean, I don't know if every single person needs to know. Do you know what I, like in terms of, like, math? Like, does every single person, you know, I feel about math, does every single person have to take calculus? Like, no, that's ridiculous. Does every single person have to take 4 years of math in high school? No. Not if they're going to be, like, some other major. The same with, like, history and social studies. Like, you don't really need to know all of that about history if you're not going to do anything with history. But it is important to know, like, history in terms of how it relates to the politics of our country and how it relates to political systems and the different points of view of the party that you might vote for or the party you don't vote for. I just feel like we need an education system that's more relevant to what's going on today.
Okay. So in your ideal world, would we maintain the current democracy republic that we have now and just inform the public, or would you completely overhaul that into your more dictatorship?
Communism. No. I think, what would we do? I guess I would like it if we had more political parties and that they formed coalitions. I think that would be, like, I think they do that in Europe, maybe. I don't know. That's the other thing, is we never learn about, like, overseas history. It's always just American history, which we should probably learn more about, like, the history of other countries. But I'm pretty sure they have, like, different political parties and coalitions. See, I'm not very educated. I wish I was more educated about it.
So you would provide more support to, like, the Green Party, the other third parties that are more or less ignored in current American politics.
Well, not only that, but, like, you can make other parties. Like, I know people who are pro-life who won't vote Democrat even though they, like, believe in everything the Democrats believe in except abortion. So you could have a political party that's pro-life and has more democratic values, or you could have a political party that's maybe fiscally like the Republicans but socially like the Democrats. Like, you could have more that way, like, more people's views are represented, and it's not just, like, black or white. Like, you don't have to just say, well, I agree with one thing this party does, so I automatically have to agree with everything else they do. It's, like, ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense.
So my final question is, how do you think an increase in the more prevalent political parties and more a division of power would help achieve your ideal world of everyone's educated and everyone is involved in the political process?
Wait, what?
So how do you think that an increase in political parties and the division of power that would create foster more people's involvement in politics?
Well, like for example, I just think people would be more like excited about it, and they wouldn't feel like, you know what I mean? Like I know a bunch of like college people who just want to vote for what's his name, the libertarian guy, Ron Paul. They just want to vote for Ron Paul because he's going to legalize marijuana. Like now, does it make sense to vote for Ron Paul just because he's going to legalize marijuana? No. But like if there was maybe another Democrat group that wasn't libertarian but had more democratic values but still wanted to legalize marijuana, people would vote. I just feel like people would be more inspired to vote if like their opinions or points of view were represented more.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And